Oh my god. We're live.
I fucking knew you'd say that.
We're
Hello.
live? You knew that we'd say we're live?
No, I knew Depth would say ocean pussy again.
Oh.
Ocean pussy.
See?
Hi, everyone.
I knew.
I didn't. I said I added it. I said more than that. Anyway.
Andre, I'm moving you around in real time because there you are. Okay, good. Wow.
Hi, everyone.
I'm so dizzy, Dylan. You have to slow down.
Just Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Tragedy of Theolosian, a game where we're here. It's hot. It's going to be a little delusional, but we're going to have a good time. So welcome. Last episode, we got some stuff done. We started with finishing the talk with Hestia, finding out a little information. And then we started taking some longer breaks in between our sessions just because we got a lot of places, or we got somewhere we got to be, and it's going to take a long time. And if anyone's here for the desert episodes, I've learned from my mistakes. So, time skip time. So, everyone started doing some things over the course of a couple of weeks to either get better at a skill, get better at a trade, to learn something new, any of the above. If people want to share theirs when we're doing our week this week, feel free to. And then we talked to some dragon turtles. And they decided after some talks and after being given lobster by the lobster giver, that they would go back to their mother. And then it was an island in which everyone went, oop, I don't like that. So we skipped over it. It was absolutely a dragon turtle. But we're going to start this week. So this week's jump. Is there anything anyone would like to do in character? Any reminders that you would like to give our people about what you are doing?
So we're doing this one thing over the 3 weeks, and after the 3 weeks, we get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, before you end up going to Hades, going to the underworld, yeah, you're gonna get it.
Cool. Yeah.
I would like to do the role for training Finley on survival again.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say I don't really, because you're taking so long with these, I'm not gonna make anyone really make rolls unless they'd like to.
We're doing like a
if you want to, totally go for it. But it's something where I think with the time you're all taking, you can all succeed.
Actually, teaching Finley how to do like boating stuff is going to be kind of important. So, yeah. Wow.
Some good stuff. Thinking ahead. Anything else anyone would like to do?
Yes, please. It's very important to me that Mena learns how to cook. Mena has a new fancy rolling pin that that was given by Hestia. So what Mena is going to do is basically spend a lot of time baking, a lot of time cooking, and is going to get like really hyper focused onto it. I think he's like, this is like he wakes up in the middle of the night being like, oh, I gotta try that again. And like getting back into the kitchen and just making a bunch of things, too many things. Lots of them are not great at first, but I'm hoping that at the end of this journey they are a little bit proficient at this.
I feel like you're getting there. I definitely feel like Mena has gotten to the point where, you know, the salty sweet fiasco I feel like is coming to a close. Where it's like, maybe not this salty and this sweet.
Yeah. To be clear, I am still gonna put weird things in my cookies.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just gonna figure out how to make it good. I'm gonna crack that. I'm gonna crack that nut. That's what's gonna happen. All right.
I love it.
Here is excellent at cookie making.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Putting that in
Was
my
bad at it. Now,
additional
excellent.
notes.
So bad. Week
Oh.
2. Almost perfect.
Master Chef. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be bothering Ragna because I don't think I can bother Kaj because Kaj is too busy training his daughter. As far as I know, that's their relationship. Um, I'm gonna bother Ragna to while in between his blacksmithing or whatever he's trying to do, because if I'm remembering correctly, you're trying to make this mold.
I'm drawing it out,
Oh.
or I'm trying to just. You either see Ragna like meditating, or drawing mechanical shit, in some form or another. So, catch him in between those times, I guess.
Yeah, just for some basic athletic training. And I mean, even in kind of like a trade-off kind of thing, like if you have anything Arcana question, because I'm really good at magic knowledge stuff, like you could pick my brain for that if
Anytime you bring up a magic, you can literally see your words going in one ear and out the other. He tries his best, but it don't click at all.
Okay. What if think of magic is an energy source. Just like how wood fuels fire, or coal fuels fire, magic fuels spells.
Oh no, I get
I mean,
trust me, I get the basic principles, but once you start getting into formulas, I'm done. I'm cooked. I can't. I have an artificer sister and a wizard sister. They've tried for years. It I can't.
I mean,
It's like the symbols and things get kind of weird in my eyes. I can't focus on them properly.
Tell me more. And tell me more about what works for you, so I can translate if possible. Like I know, like blacksmiths, engineers, there are a lot of hands-on stuff. Is that something that could help?
I'm good at observing. So if you want to just perform magic and I can just see its applications, then we can do that. But other than that, I don't really know. I'm basically saying that Ragna has kind of magical dyslexia, where it just doesn't click properly. And it gets all weird and jumbled up, and the formulas don't look like formulas. But like if you showed him like a quadratic equation for engineering, he'd get that shit no problem. That ADHD brain, perfect. But for this subject, it's one. I'm gonna use your fucking example. 2 + 2 = 5.
So is there a way that I can translate magic to math?
I mean, is there? I don't really know.
Yeah, that was a question for me to Serenity.
I feel like, to an extent, like it would be like its own separate form of math. So it would be This is all gonna be intelligence.
I was gonna say, this
And
is
every check's gonna be intelligence.
Yeah.
That's
But to convey
Mhm.
the mathematic equations to something that Ragna may understand a little better, I will let you use. I'm trying to think of what could
Wisdom?
work. Yeah, but I'm trying to think of like what wisdom.
Well, if you're, I was gonna say if you're no, because if you're a druid, that'd be nature, and also nature is an intelligence skill. And I'm like, oh.
If you're, how about this to make it simple? If you're explaining magic in a mathematical way, I will let you still use Arcana
Mhm.
to like try to explain something. Like if you're rolling a skill check, but if you're explaining it mathematically, then Ragna can have advantage on trying to understand it because you're communicating it a separate way.
Mhm.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
Cool.
So I would roll Arcana
To see if you can
to see how well I can to translate it to a mathematical, or get it to a point that Ragna can understand in a mathematical way.
and then we'll have Ragna, not like, we'll have you roll to see how well you can comprehend this to math. If that succeeds, then Ragna, we can have you roll an advantage for insight or investigation to try to figure it out. And then there's 2 separate rolls, but they'll just kind of work in succession.
Yeah. I get you. 21.
Yeah, you've got it. You've got it down packed. It's easy for you, so it's something that you're able to equate. You bring out a magical whiteboard. You're ready.
Don't hurt yourself.
Now.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Oh no, I was so ready.
Oh
It's
man,
you.
I don't.
Please continue.
Prop whack, prop whack, prop whack.
You just do your 2 plus 2 plus
No.
5.
No, this is A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
I understand.
We're different maths.
Okay. Sure. I get advantage on this roll.
Yeah, you get advantage to try to read this.
And this is insight or investigation. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if it's something where you have advantage, so if you would normally give yourself like disadvantage to roll it, you could do normal, or you can roll with
You were
advantage.
very lucky because I rolled a 1 and then I rolled an 11, so 18 total.
Okay.
So you would have either seen Ragna's brain just short circuit and explode, or
Okay.
he's pensive. He's doing the Spider-Verse, like focusing, like looking at the board. He understands mechanics of Pythagoras is fucking Greek, so it's like, oh, okay, if you fucking use that guy and not like the tree huggers magic shit, I got it. It's good.
AJ, I'm fully willing to give you inspiration if you can make that your prop work in roleplay work.
We got some more.
I don't.
I'm kind of waiting.
Come on, engineer. Come on.
God, I was an engineer for 1 year.
Well,
And
I wrote
didn't
18.
stick, obviously.
Ragna gets a pretty good idea.
Yeah. So now that you've done this one, I'll say, when you're talking to him about magic, it's in one ear, and then like every third sentence is out the other.
Look, it's better than none of it. It's
There you
better
go.
than none.
Yes.
Yeah. So now, if you would like to, because what are you doing during this time, AJ?
I am trying to pump my athletics to an expertise, because I already apparently have proficiency in it, and I didn't realize.
I was gonna say you can't do a ton to help, but if there's like 1 or 2 times during this, like if I will give 1 additional roll for something if like Ragna starts making rolls on this, like as a inspiration to put somewhere where you were giving the help action because you're using magic to try to help. But I don't know if you are going to be doing any rolls. I just know Christian likes to do random things, so I'm like, yeah, if there's one, cool. All right. Anything else?
I want to talk to Hephaestus.
Mm-hmm.
Or rather, I would like to be in their workshop. Either works.
So
So if I
I
need
get
to
against
roll,
attention.
roll, like I roll religion, right?
Mhm.
To connect to the spirit world. That's a 14.
Okay.
Like I said, he doesn't even have to be there. It doesn't matter immediately if he's there or not. I just want to be in the workshop.
Right. But you gotta get entry.
Yeah.
Do you say anything, or you just kind of go, "Let me in"?
Yeah. just
That's it.
it's just
You just
it's
go,
just
"Let
it's
me in."
just the intention of the feeling of let me in.
I don't think you've ever felt such a look. I think you've never
I
felt
saw it glowing. I saw it glowing.
harshly.
Mm-hmm.
You feel just a denial.
Yeah. I'll try again later. It's fine. If I can't try immediately.
I mean, if
Then...
you're just like, "Let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in," you'll feel like almost like yourself is in like a little bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're purposely trying to ignore you. So I give it some time.
Yeah.
Especially with an interaction like that.
Sure.
Cool. Okay. So the weekends. You've all gotten slightly better at what you're doing. Was Caleo doing something, or is Caleo just helping out other people hanging around?
Clay's just happy to be here. He's just hanging out with his friends. He's probably like he's probably like the primary taste tester for Mena's cooking. And will probably, you know what, as a side quest, if the crew doesn't know how to play Liar's Dice, he's going to be teaching them how to play Liar's Dice, or at least playing Liar's Dice with them.
Are you
Mena knows how to play Liar's Dice. And is gonna get, I think this is the only thing that can distract them from cooking.
If you don't mind, I have an idea.
Yes.
You will be giving everyone on like in the group by the end of these weeks proficiency in dice. So like dice games.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So yeah, if you're keeping that up, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, and especially since you're helping other people and it's something like so simple and playful, I'm more than happy to have you go, everyone gets to learn something because I say so.
It's really the only game Caleo knows how to play because there's only like 2 rules.
But people are going to know something.
So.
Okay. Let's see who's gonna be out and about. Let's grab Caleo and Kaj. And Finley will be there. So out on the top of the deck. Finley is a bit exhausted from learning how to work and learn the ropes specifically of the ship. Her hands are a little worn. So at this point, we're taking a little break, playing some dice. I'd say it's about 1 p.m. The sun is starting to go the other direction, but it's still pretty midday. I would like for you two to go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Ooh. Okay.
Perception.
Perception.
Stop it.
Oh, you know what?
Oh, I forgot to roll my dice, so I don't know which ones are going to roll well today.
Oh no. It's just like real dice games.
Shut up.
All right, perception. You go first.
10.
21.
Fuck you. This is just because I
Caleo's
didn't roll my die, so I didn't know which one to roll. So I rolled a 2.
That's not my fault.
Caleo's just a bit distracted trying to really teach Finley. Like really in the rules. You're not paying attention, but this is overall more interesting than anything else at the second. Gosh, I feel like you're always pretty much on a high alert, especially in an area you don't know. So it's not surprising to me that you just crushed this.
Yeah.
Not also to mention, you are typically about double people's size. So you can feel things that other people don't when you're standing at the same level. As you stand up, you feel a change in the air. Directionally, the wind changes courses just a bit, but also temperature. You feel a bit of a change. The pressure is a bit heavier, like the ocean itself with these changes is compacting, almost like a storm is approaching due to everything adding up. But as you look forward, you see a very foggy area in front of you. It is not easy to avoid. But the biggest area that the biggest thing that you see besides the fog is going to be a large rock that's coming up from the ocean itself. Not too terribly tall against the ship, but it's tall enough to stand above the water here deep in the ocean. And a couple smaller rocks beside it. Nothing too exciting there. There's a couple of seals. Sea lion,
Hell yeah!
Cool! There's some wildlife there. And they seem to be adjusting to this change fairly well. Like, it's not something they seem to be worried about or running away from.
Cool.
But there's a heavy fog that's approaching. And with
rocks.
not only the pressure change and the temperature change, and with your high roll, you do notice that the water has a slight split. Not that there's a change in level, but rather it's almost like two different oceans are coming together at a point. But it's not terribly noticeable, and it doesn't seem to change too much. But
like
one
if
is
I were
more
to
clear.
if I were to look at the two sides of the ocean, I guess I would be able to notice where the waves kind of meet.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, hi, thanks for the raid. Absolutely, you would be able to. It's more not like waves crashing together, but there's this very slight difference, possibly in density and content in the waters themselves, to where they have a discoloration. One is more clear, while the other's a bit more milky. Other than that, it's not too heavily noticeable, but it is something you do see.
Why are you smiling, Deb?
No reason.
What's that about?
It's stupid. Don't look at me.
Hey.
Serenity said milky.
God damn it.
Oh my god. Happy Pride Month, okay?
I'm gonna turn to Caleo and Finley, and with a lot more serious of a tone than before, is going to say I will be right back. I don't know why.
Everything
My brain
okay?
was like, you have to say it like Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's just
I'll be
how
back.
you. I will be back. And is going to go to Captain Court.
Yeah.
That seems reasonable.
Yes. So Court has been trying not to be too much in your guys' way. Of course, coming through and interacting, she's really excited for this journey, but she's also got a job to do. So she's been really working with her crew, taking some time, drawing out maps, but she's been trying the cookies. And even when they suck, she'll just walk away. But then she'll come back and try the next one. Shuri knows how to play dice, but she'll play dice with you. She doesn't know what you're doing, Ragna, but she's like, if you need me, I'll be there if you need me. With Noemi, I think out of everyone, Court would be most easily put in to your weekly ethics with Noemi with weight training. Court is built, so she is happy to help. She has some weights that she has in her captain's quarters, but as well she also is teaching you how she does her workouts and will spot you. And then for Kaj and Finley, she loves the sea. She's more than happy to help teaching how to run the ship. But she is in her office. You can just walk in. She's gotten to the point where she'll leave the door open, where you can just walk in if you need to. If it's closed, knock. But she seems to be working on a map right now and has been charting the journey you've been going on and leaving notes in her journal. Almost hunched over her desk, she hears the hooves against the wooden floor. Looks up to you. Goes, "Hey, what's going on? How's Finley doing?"
She is fine. There is fog up ahead and the rocks.
Like a lot of rocks, or like
One big rock with seals on it.
okay.
Um,
And she'll
Also, you should look at the ocean. It's split.
it's split like
Like two different oceans are meeting.
oh, okay, yeah.
Is that normal?
The ocean does whatever the hell she wants to do. So let's go take a look. And she'll walk up to you, kind of give you like a pat on the shoulder, as you two walk out, to notice what you've shown. And immediately leans against the railing to look, and looking through the sky. It feels like there's a storm brewing, but it's not. It's not happening. You notice that?
I don't think Kaj realized up to this point that it was a storm and is going to maybe freak out a little bit inside.
So counterpoint of that, it's fog in front of you. However, like I had mentioned before, with the changes of density, pressure, and temperature, it feels like there should be a storm. Like this is when the waters should become choppy. When
No. That's not why Kaj is.
okay.
Kaj is thinking about Eris.
Okay.
Yes, that's why he's like storms. So, he's going to just kind of shudder a bit. Are we to
sail through or go around?
I
Are you
mean,
familiar with this at all?
this is a part where most people's, if they got journals that we found or wives' tales that we've heard, we are far past it. So I mean, I don't see a way we can go one way or another to go around it. And if we do, if there's fog, we may get lost. We know at this point, if we just keep going forward, we're gonna be at the corner.
Sure.
But I mean,
Why don't we set up some lanterns throughout so we can try and create the minimum amount of fog on board the deck?
I think that's a good idea. I'll get my men on that. If you want to go warn people that we may need all hands on deck, just in case this becomes something worse, but I wouldn't make people worry too heavily yet.
Okay.
Serenity.
Sorry, there's a kid outside that's yelling. So feel free to say what you need to say.
I have a memory of a goldfish. What was in my little scry? Like, did I see anything like this when I did my little scry?
So when you were doing the scry, it had like a portion where it did get like misty, but you just kept going forward and forward and forward. So nothing like this was something that was immediately pointed out to you, but definitely there were some points that were more unclear than other. Like you saw the dragon turtles, you saw things in the water, you didn't see a huge rock and mist.
Did I see sirens, or am I misremembering?
You did not see sirens.
I did not see sirens. Okay. All right, cool. Thank you. Also, having heard this conversation about it looks like it's meant to be storming, but it isn't. Can I do like I don't know, like a little nature check or anything like that? If I like heard of anything like that
Yes.
before. I know what dice to roll now. I rolled on my dice.
Okay.
That's better. Fuck. Nature's an intelligence check. I thought it was
It sure
wisdom.
is. I wasn't gonna
10.
say anything. God damn.
It's the worst mistake D&D ever made.
I always confuse survival for nature.
It's hard. It's more like, hey, like survival is not to eat this plant due to the many like warning signals that you've grown to learn, and then nature is like, here's the genus of this bird. Like it's hard. It doesn't make sense to me either. But with a 10, you do it's hard to really kind of understand what's exactly happening. The fog is fog. It's not cloud. It's not like a storm cloud. It's not something that looks menacing. So whatever this is may not have a relation to how things are feeling. You do notice the split in the ocean, the change in the ridge of two seemingly different oceans or waters meeting one another. It's not clear down the middle. I should point out, it kind of sways, almost like they did come together at a point enough to mix, and then they're starting to almost break off into their own oceans, into the fog. But you don't see much past it.
Just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna do Eyes of the Grave. If there's any undead within, is there any undead within 60 feet of me? Just.
Oh, can I have, what is it called again?
Eyes of the Grave. As an action, I know the location of any undead within 60 feet of me that isn't behind total cover and that isn't protected from divination magic until the end of my next turn. I can use this feature 4 times per long rest.
Ooh. The fog that was a low gray, something that was not dark, but mute, is now beginning to light up. But it's not
funsies.
Oh, I'm so glad you did. But it doesn't seem to be just like there's some under the water, of course, but there's also at the level of the water and above the level of the water. So they seem to it seems to be the deeper you look into the fog, the more there are. So the density becomes
So wait, how am I? How I can't speak. I'm speechless. I've been stunned. Wait, so how many am I sensing?
There's a lot. So it the way I'd like to point it out and the way I'm imagining it. So you're not seeing like skeleton, like a skeletal feature. You're seeing pinpoints flashing, almost like on a radar. So it's not like here's a body, it's there's something and there's something and there's something. So it's blips. And when you're looking closer to you, there's some like it starts at the fog. There are
Play just shouts, I think the fog is dead.
Most flail shit you can say.
Kaj turns around and just says, "What?"
If I may, I think this is when Mena comes up from down below deck with just like, baking powder and soot on his face. And I think he's got now like a holster for the rolling pin on their side. Comes up with like a plate of fresh cookies and is like, these ones are good. These ones are good. What's going on? What's
fog?
The fog is dead.
We don't know that.
The fog is
How do you
dead?
know that?
What does that mean?
So I just for funsies, I was very curious about the fog. I didn't actually think it would do anything. Sometimes I just do things expecting nothing to happen because it's always better to be sure than to not be sure. And so I just wanted to check to see if there was any undead nearby, and I thought maybe there's something in the water. No, it's the fog. The fog is undead.
The fog is undead.
So when you say the fog is undead, there are things in the fog that are undead?
Could it be that this is our destination?
And
that we are approaching...
Are we just here?
Wait, are we close? I thought we were still a few weeks out.
I don't know.
Maybe
there is a buffer zone of some sort.
Mm.
Well, it's hard to explain. Sometimes I get pings, and these are like blipping. They're blipping.
Well,
so I'm not getting pings, I'm getting blips.
Does anybody remember my seagull's name?
Augustus.
Thank you. Augustus, my dear. Do you want to look ahead in the fog? Do you want to go anywhere near that fog? Could you give me a sign? How is Augustus reacting to the fog?
I also want to point out, I think Augustus has been like up on deck, doesn't really go under deck often.
Sure.
But specifically when you walk out with cookies, has been avoiding it like the plague.
Yeah.
Until other people have reacted and then has come around.
Sure.
I
I've already eaten 3. How are they?
Huh?
I've already eaten 3. How are they?
These are good.
What are these cookies?
Well, okay, so there's 2 different kinds. So hopefully you grab the right kind because some of them are for Gus and they have minnows. Diced up and put in. But some of them are for all of you. And those don't have minnows because that would be crazy. They have salmon in them, and they're for the experienced palate, the well-adjusted palate. Mm-hmm.
I have definitely picked up a minnow cookie.
The threat levels of cookies is crazy.
So sorry. I'm so sorry. So that cookie
fine.
tastes like seagull food, you know.
What is seagual food?
Minnow.
Anything that the sequel can get their hands on.
Exactly. It's all food. They can quick enough.
Go ahead. What were you saying, AJ?
I think it's fine.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no.
Let me try.
I totally was not paying attention to what was happening.
Takes a bite of the salmon cookie.
Are we? We're getting closer to the fog, right? I'm assuming.
Yes,
that.
you are. Real quick, I want to make sure we know where everyone is because Noemi appeared randomly. So, where's Ragna?
Ragna here's all the shouting. Here's the fog is dead. Real loud. It's like, wait, what? I gotta see this.
Caleo absolutely would have shouted that out for the entire ship to hear.
The fog is dead.
You go to the door, the fog's dead.
Would have come up by now. Sees the platter of different cookies, smells them, is instantly like,
I'll get one for you.
even
I will get one for you.
Going.
There's no sham in it.
Yeah.
These are good. I don't know what you're talking about. These are
Wait,
flaky.
Ragna comes up and smells the air and goes, like, you know the stink face the cats do when their tongues are slightly out?
I was imagining those cat compilations when they have a gag reflex with the thing.
Her eyes all bulge out.
Have you seen the video of the rat when the guy's like, "Oh yeah, I cooked up some soup for my little guy." He doesn't even know that there's rat poison, and the rat just goes just like that.
After this is that I require this for my after show care. Thank you.
I'm gonna. Do I see the fog? That's just the.
You do.
James in the giant peach ass fog.
The wall of fog. Yeah, absolutely.
I'll ask Echo. It's like, have you ever seen anything like this?
You don't get a response. Death. Death. What were you saying?
I was just gonna ping Eyes of the Grave again and see if I got like a clearer ping.
Well, now that you can see further in there, it's even more dense. The pinging is blipping. It's pinging. It's bright. There's so many.
Like everywhere?
It's everywhere. Everywhere the fog seems to touch and under the water, there seems to be some
dead.
too.
The fog is dead.
But there's spaces in between. It's not just like a blanket. It's like like a clear sky with stars.
But it's dead people.
But it's in the fog, and it might be dead people.
There are a lot of dead things in this fog. There are so many dead things in this fog.
Counterpoint, back it up. Dylan. So Augustus, who has come over to grab a cookie, hearing there's one specifically for him. And then you ask, do you want to go in there? You hear, no.
All right.
I mean, if you want me to, I will.
I'm not.
But I don't want to.
I've asked you enough. It's just that do you get a bad feeling? Do you get a bad sensation? I trust you because I feel like the feathers, they give you extra senses, so I just wanted to check.
I feel like I'm looking at Vito's like that. I'm gonna let that go.
I don't go here. We don't do this. We don't go this far.
You don't go this far.
We don't go here, no. But
All right.
if you want me to go in there, I'll go in there. But I'm taking cookies with me.
All right, take some cookies. Take as many as you need. Don't give them away while you're in there. And just let me know what you see and come right back because I don't want you getting hurt.
Okay. So there's a couple cookies that have been put into Augustus' mouth, and we'll fly to the fog, and then into the fog, and you give it a couple minutes, and then flies right back out, and he lands. But here's the thing about it. He looks confused when he comes back out.
What was it like in there?
Foggy. Dense.
All right.
I kept going straight. And I'm here.
Ah. All right.
Oh,
Caleo.
like you never turned?
No. I was trying to just find something. Time is weird in there.
How long were you in there?
I don't know.
How many times did you flap your wings?
I don't know. Do you count that?
Caleo,
Do you count your steps? Gotta get this to 200,000.
I think that we may be at our destination.
Is the captain here with us?
She was talking to me.
Yeah, she has gotten her notebook and is writing everything down. I imagine that Mena is translating both ways. For Augustus.
Sure, yes.
Oh, none of us
Because
can
if not,
understand him?
then no
you
one
just
knows
hear
except for
talking.
Noemi and
Only,
Mena.
only,
No, no.
only Mena and Noemi knows what this bird is saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
So maybe Noemi's translating.
Then yeah, I guess we'll ask Captain Court, like, are we here? Is this where we're meant to be?
This doesn't sound right. I mean, like I said, everything normally cuts like real hard about a half a week back. So we are in uncharted territory.
What was the estimation to get here again? Did she say, or was it just like a rough estimation? I'm just
So-
trying to like have the timeline in my head.
So based off of what people have assumed, going like people who have gone to the edge, because there are people who've gone to other sides of the edge and then have come back and then charted it, and people said you're stupid, this is wrong. For people who've done that, based off of the math that she's done, there should be one more week of travel time.
Can I go into the my mental space after I asked that question and you said nothing?
Yeah, you can go into your little safe space, your little consciousness.
Sure. And what does that go look like when I get there?
Confused.
What's wrong?
It feels wrong, but I don't know why.
Okay. Just when you say wrong, what does that mean? We know that's apparently the fog is dead.
I don't know anything about that.
Hmm.
And I don't think that's right.
Well, it's got dead things in it.
That sounds more right. I don't know. It feels familiar in the wrong way.
Okay. Honestly, I would like to avoid it. I think that that
Wow.
many sources of undead doesn't spark greatest confidence. Though, seeing that the seagull flew in and then came back, saying they flew straight, might be some illusions in there as well.
I don't know. I'll be here if you need me. But I have no idea what's happening.
Ooh, have any of the people that have seen vampires recognized this as like vampire fog? Ooh.
Ooh, is this the wizard, the world of darkness
Jesus.
mist? Ooh!
Ragnar and Kazimir.
Ooh, Serenity. This is Serenity's like beacon going, please put me in a world of darkness game. God.
Noted.
Please, thank Dylan, my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry. How wide is the boat?
Wide the boat. I'd probably say about 20 feet.
Perfect.
Wait, no, not 20. I'm sorry. 50 because it's a smaller boat. Hang on. I gotta think of actual dimensions now. Like, look, I have a roll 20. I'm not gonna open it so you don't have to pull it up, but I'm gonna open it so I can do math.
Sweet.
Count.
We love counting.
I love counting. One. What comes
Caleo,
after one?
what do you think? You seem to have thoughts.
I have thoughts that there are a lot of undead in this fog, and I can't do much in identifying what kind of undead they are. I don't want to metagame, so I don't want to say my next line of dialogue.
If you would like to, if it's something that
Can I?
you know based off of Greek mythology, if you'd like to try to make a roll to see if it's reasonable for you to know it.
Oh no, I was D&D 5e metagaming.
Oh, the other kind.
Oh.
Or like
Look at you.
vampires, because that's my first thought is vampires. But it's also middle of the day, so I might be incorrect. But can I like make a roll to see any undead in relation to fog?
You mean like do you see any that aren't just like blips of like the light popping up, like physically?
No, I want to know if I know any undead that are like related to fog.
Go ahead and roll. And then it's 30 feet across, about 85 feet long for the boat.
What would this be? Just like a straight intelligence, or would this be like a religion, maybe?
If you know, I would say either, because if you think that you would know based off of your worship with Hestia, you would have learned about ghost reasonably. You can do
I'm just
that.
thinking as like a cleric of the grave, I would have learned about like undead things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't see that as incorrect. So if that's what you'd like to use, I'm happy to be flexible
Can
with
I
that.
give myself credits?
That's fair.
Math.
Arithmetic.
16 plus 3 is 19 plus 8 is 27. Yeah.
We're gonna put a pause on that real quick because AJ had something that they wanted to do. And then we'll go back to it because you had a really good roll. So, okay, what was it that you wanted to do, AJ?
I think Noemi is just kind of like staring. How far away is this fog right now?
I'm gonna give it about, from how you've been traveling, and I think you've tried to slow the boat down. I think you're at about 100 feet away, and you're almost at a standstill as people have tried to pull the mass, or the big piece of fabric that wind pushes through.
Sail.
Yep. Shut up, Christian. Leave me alone.
Big piece of fabric.
You know, the big piece of fabric. I'm a professional dungeon master. Leave me alone.
I think, like, I feel like Kaleo's kind of like looking at this and like stressing because they just see dead things. And Noemi's just kind of like, I don't think many other people are taking Mena's great cookies. And
I've been eating them.
I said many other people. Okay. So I think
Don't
Noemi's
subtweet me, okay?
I
I'm a big boy.
I think
I'm hungry.
Noemi is just sitting next to Kaj and eating the cookies.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of like staring off at her. Is like, I mean, if any of us have wind spells, if it's just fog, we could just blow it away.
Well, that was my idea with using the lanterns, because like active sources of light also remove fog.
Did you
But
say
not
wind
true.
spells?
Yeah, wind spells.
Well, I don't know if that would work, but but I do have something. Kind of. We could try it.
Yeah.
Kaj is going to order some of the deckhands to start lighting lanterns and putting them on the along the edge of like the ship.
I will say, if I do cast a wind spell, it's gonna snuff out any flames that we put up.
I mean, it's going to be in a lantern though.
Even if you put it in front of you?
If it's within, as long as it's not within the radius of my spell, then
Right.
it'll be fine.
Even if it's covered? I would imagine like the glass of the lantern would protect it at least.
Yeah, if it's protected, then it's fine.
Yeah, okay. Then it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. I was going to say, Court said that she was going to have them do that, so they've already started. But any specific places you'd like them to go, you absolutely can. But yeah, that's already being active. And then back to Caleo. The best part about your high roll is you do know a lot about spirits in this and what to look out for, especially with the time period within the last 10 years of weird happenstances happening in the world. People are a lot more on edge, so you definitely had to keep an eye out for what may have been a cause for concern for people to contract your services as a cleric or anything like that. The hard news with this role, so many undead are surrounded by fog. But based off of what you see here, with them being up in the up in the air, along the ground or ground level and under the water, it's fairly reasonable to assume that either these are either all different, they're all the same, but they're not like a standard, like a zombie or like something physical. It doesn't seem like it may be something physical. It seems maybe incorporeal or ethereal. Overall, maybe a better option for what you're seeing and from what you've had experience with. So things like zombies, skeletons, whites, I would say you could knock those out of the park real fast. Mm-hmm. That those aren't an option. Counterpoint, the fog's weird. There could be something affecting it there, but based off of how everything is moving and floating and how you're seeing things appear, they have a lot more of a flow than a zombie that would be shambling or skeleton that would be rattling. So most likely it's not physical.
So I think this might be in response to kind of like Mina's question about what Cleo's thinking. I think he's kind of like starts kind of thinking aloud, kind of talking through a lot of his like teachings. Kind of he's not very smart a lot of the time, but he does what does stay in his head is a lot of his clerical teachings. So I don't think it's physical. I don't think these are physical undead. So it wouldn't be zombies or skeletons. They're moving too smoothly. Could be something incorporeal, ghosts, banshees, I think, can be incorporeal. But ghosts are bad. I don't want them to be ghosts. That would be very tricky.
Yes. Well, Caleo, I can move this fog. And we could get a good look. But then they could also get a good look at us. What do you think?
I think it's our best bet because I think, if I recall correctly, a lot of undead are affected by direct sunlight, and I think this fog is giving... It is the middle of the day, correct?
It is the middle of the day, pretty much. It's about 1.
So I think maybe, if nothing else, if it does expose them, it might give us a good advantage by exposing them to the sunlight if they are creatures that are affected so. Which I would assume so if they're using the fog as cover.
That makes sense. All right, well, then everybody needs to be ready. As soon as that fog goes away, we'll see what's in there, but it'll see us. So be prepared. And I'm going to warm up to cast Wind Wall.
All right.
I love it. So how are you positioning your wind wall? Because I know it's typically a length rather than a burst.
I think what I want to do is I want to give us like a parting of the sea kind of thing. I want to like do a wall like straight through a path.
Okay. I'm going to say that now that you're preparing to move forward, the ship is ready. So you are... Would you like to do it at the like last possible second, or would you like to give a little bit of like 5 to 10 feet for the opening before going through, or do you want to do it right at the wall so you have as much?
Let's do it right at the wall to have as much space to travel.
So you cast it, which immediately it feels like there's a resistance when you cast this wall of wind, but it does go through. And there's a straight shot where you can see down the center. You see the ocean still in its weird bashing ridge state with the two of them meeting. But the odd thing is, once the fog is cleared, I'm going to give you a freebie on this as well. I'm going to say that you are you still have your eyes up from the turn, or you can cast another one if you'd like. However you'd like to rule it.
I can
it would be for
Eyes of the Grave.
Yeah, you could either do another one, or you could do this and plan it to where this was at the very end of the turn, right? And that can be cast.
I'll do another one.
Okay. The spirits move with it, so it doesn't create an opportunity for you to look into the fog, but rather it pushes the fog aside. And I know that with the level of spell you have, it's a moderately high spell. It's like level 4 or 5 for Wall of Wind.
3.
Okay. There's a bit of a resistance for a while. I'd say about a turn or two. So about 12 seconds to 15 seconds worth. Nothing's coming back through, but the fog does begin to close back in and mesh in with the wind. So you do see a slight like swirling, and you see the spirits begin to spin a bit as well. But they don't seem to react. They just seem to like move a little frantically. You don't see them like get angry, or you don't see things coming towards you. You just see them trying to move to.
I might regret this, but are the spirits immune to bludgeoning damage?
So the weird thing here is that they are not immune, but they don't go away.
Okay. Okay.
But they don't seem malicious.
They don't seem to be acting maliciously to the change. They more so like particles when you like spin water really quickly. They seem to move with it. But because they seem to be coherent, they try to move away from it to something more settled.
Okay.
Can I make a check to see how natural this is over here?
You absolutely can.
What do I roll? Just nature? Or
Whatever you think would work. Nature's fine. If you think you've heard stories about this, you can try history, arcana. If you're like, I don't know if this is actually natural.
I think I'm trying to find more of the... Because we are, like the captain said, we are in uncharted territory. And seeing that these spirits are moving just with the fog, as if they are the fog in itself, makes me think that this is just a natural thing that happens over here, that just no one, either the people that have gone to the edge didn't encounter this, or like they just didn't mention it, and this is just a natural occurring thing when you get closer to the edge or something.
Okay. So you probably want a nature.
Yeah. My stinking.
I would like to try something in a few minutes.
Sure.
That's okay. That's a 19.
19? This doesn't feel natural. It feels... It feels natural in the sense that this belongs here, but it doesn't feel natural in a sense of this is what should be happening,
Like it's not
in the natural balance.
Mhm.
And that's a really hard answer that might have caused more questions. But it feels like the fog should be here. And it's not like it moved in or that it was brought here. But it doesn't feel like this would be something that could naturally occur without possibly magical, divine, or dark magic.
How fast do we want to go through here?
What was that?
How fast do we want to go through here?
Ideally,
Like, do we want to
quickly.
get out of here like real quick? Like less time in this fog, the better.
I should caveat, probably we don't want to go so fast that we run headfirst into issues. I mean, we are going through fog, so I don't want to go so fast that we endanger the ship's hull.
Plus, we don't know how long we're going to be in the fog, so we want to be careful as well at that as well.
And we might end up turned around. Well, if we go quickly.
So no on the gust of wind. Got it.
So
move
none of
quick.
the spirits that we are seeing seem malicious, correct?
As you're going into the fog, you don't you see blips of light, not like bright yellow light, but ethereal blues and greens and whites. But they don't seem to be physically showing themselves as you've come in and the wall of wind has been overcome. You're seeing, the best way to describe it is, when lights or fireworks appear behind clouds. So it's lights appearing, but much more reflective to distort the actual vision of what you would see from the density of the fog itself.
Okay.
But as you're in here, it doesn't seem hard to breathe. It doesn't seem like the fog is overwhelming you to a point that you can't see. The lanterns have made it a point to where on the ship you can see pretty much everything. But you do see the lights are reflecting off of the fog itself too.
I'd like to try to talk to a spirit then.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
So, real quick, do we want to take a quick break, or do we want to talk to them first and then take a little break?
I'm
No
good for either.
Okay.
Break after?
Break after, sure.
Sure. What do you want to say?
Hello, ghosts. Hey there. I would love to have a conversation with one of you if one of you would be willing to speak. I am a cleric of Hestia. I help those who have passed on.
Can you roll a performance for me with advantage?
A performance?
Or persuasion. I apologize.
No, they're
Persuasion.
both the same. But
Okay. I did mean a persuasion. It was the wrong P.
okay. My drawer is stuck. What happened? Alright. Well. Alright. Guidance. Yeah. 21.
That's really good. So the ship is moving, and it's working as normal. Things feel normal, except for you can't see anything around the ship. And then you begin to hear some creaking as the railing closest to you, Caleo.
Mm-hmm.
You see a hand reach up and grab onto the railing, like it's coming from the water and pulling itself up. The spirit from the waist up looks humanoid, but it's fairly hard to tell what they were in their past life. It's more of a ambiguous silhouette. But below that, you don't see anything other than wisps and trails of the light as they pull themselves up onto the deck. Their head tilts and looks like it's looking up at you, though you can't really see where their eyes are except for the divots to show there was a face there at some point. And you hear a cleric.
Yes. Hello. My name is Caleo. What was your name?
They don't answer for a moment before they just put their hand out. Help.
What would you like help with?
they don't seem to be able to say more than that. But with your other hand, they drag themselves closer as their other hand is outstretched, almost shaking, desperately in need of something. And they repeat, help.
I am assuming the rest of us see this, but do not hear it.
Oh, no, you will hear and see
We
it.
hear and
we
see
gotta
it.
go. We gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you all see this.
No, the melanin, both me and my character are like, nah, this ain't good. This ain't it.
I would note from my previous check of undead that touching a ghost is probably a very bad idea, correct?
Typically, it's not very good. No.
Yeah. All right. I would like to help you, but I would like to know how I can help you first before I do so.
You see their hand that is similar in shape that how I'm showing, but then begins to constrict, the fingers moving back all the way as it almost, you would hear if there were bones that they would be clicking and breaking. But soon they just bring this hand up, hit where their eye would be, and then bring it down before the hand outstretches once more.
Caleo's gonna glance to Mena. This might be a bad idea.
No.
So,
no. Caleo. No, Caleo! And I'm taking my weapons out.
Oh, God. It's the whitest shit you can do.
I'm
so mad.
And then
never see Caleo again.
And then Caleo just evaporates.
Disintegrates into dust.
Yes.
No way. I'm sorry. Are you taking their hand? Is that what you're doing?
I think that's what they're doing.
Wait, no!
What is it? Just regret for your actions? Is this the consequences of what you want?
Hang on. Okay.
Immediate battle.
Clay looks to Mena. Okay, hang on. Shit, no, the cleric shouldn't be doing this. Hang on.
Someone else grab the ghost!
Wow, the forethought.
Caleo, if you will allow it, I think that as you outstretch your hand, Mena will try to intercept and put their hand in instead. If they cannot stop you, they will do it for you.
They're both dumbasses.
So stupid. Just pull her back.
Y'all.
So are you putting your hand forward and causing Mena to touch the ghost?
Yeah.
You couldn't even commit.
No.
It was.
Hang on. Let me make it emotional.
Okay, do it.
Let me give my reasoning behind this stupid decision.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So, Caleo is looking at this ghost and seeing the ghost kind of claw at their eye and is screaming, "Help me." Caleo always wants to help people. He became a cleric to help people. He has spent his life helping people, and hearing this spirit be in so much pain, he wants to help him however he can. And in this motion, he assumes that he's trying to communicate because he hasn't been able to say anything else. So he thinks that by touching his hand, one of two things will either happen, in which A, he'll be able to communicate better by touching his hand and he'll show him how he can help, or they will possess him. And so he turns to look at Mena and says, I think this might be a bad idea, but... And will reach out their hand.
No, that's not a good idea. And Mena will reach in and grab instead. And I hope that our hands touch each other as I do take your place in this ghost's paw.
So the hand is out. One hand's going in, and then quickly, just the other slides under. So almost like the three of you hold hands for a moment.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna go to break because
Yeah,
that was not something I expected.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Amazing.
We'll be back in, do we want to take 5 or 10? It doesn't matter to me.
I got a plan for what the fuck I'm gonna do.
10 sounds good.
Okay. We'll take 10. Go get some food, go get some drinks. We'll be right back. Don't leave. Go Pissathin if you need to, but don't leave because we'll be back with some fun stuff that Christian hates.
Me and you, Christian, we have the same reaction right now.
I love how on this Discord the top row is like, what the fuck are they doing?
What's happening?
What are they doing?
This is the whitest shit I think we've ever done. Fucking with ghosts and shit.
Like,
no!
No.
In any game system, don't fuck with ghosts. In any TTRPG, ghosts bad.
In no fiction is it a good idea. In no reality is it a good idea.
Even Casper's fucked up.
Disagree.
It might just be trying to communicate. It might be trying to tell us something.
Might
Do
need help.
charades. What the fuck is this shit?
Get us
Touching
outta
ghosts.
Get us out.
Thank you for giving
All right, we're
Serenity
gonna
an
break.
inch.
We'll
Let's
be
go.
back in 10.
Definitely said that out live
Yeah.
on stream.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Skeleton penis is a new one though. I do like your advancement.
Thank you.
You have grown with your new things. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. So right before break, someone went to go touch the hand of a spirit,
Yes.
and someone put their hand in between there. So Mena,
Yes.
you touch the hand of this spirit, and at first it almost like goes through, like it should just be like a part of the fog, but then something solidifies as when your hand touches, their hand grips onto your wrist. Everyone sees the spirit vanish into Mena. Now,
Yeah.
here's the thing.
What's the thing? Tell me about the thing.
We love to play with voices in our heads here.
We do.
Mena,
Yeah.
You feel this wave of cold, this cold, like almost like through your veins, like a liquid, but you don't feel different. You don't feel like you're not there. You don't feel like you're being pushed out of yourself. In your head, you then hear, "Oh, thank God." I'm trying to communicate.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Mena, is everything okay?
Can I hear normal? Like
Yeah, it's just now you have an extra voice in your head that's also in conversation with you.
It's talking to me, Caleo. Hold, please. My friend thought that you needed help. What kind of help do you need?
I have a quick question. Are you just staffed, or do you not know where you are?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know where we are. That part is true.
You're right upon the gates of the underworld. And by that I mean
knew it.
the wrong
I
gates.
say that out loud.
What?
By that I mean the wrong gates of the underworld. The unprepared gates of the underworld. Always locked. Always held.
So you can't get in.
No. Not at all.
Do you want in?
Do I... Would I rather just live in the fog at a halfway point? Or would I prefer to finally rest?
You know, all people are different. People, I figured I'd ask. But clearly you want in, and I understand that. So how can we help? How can we get you in?
Well, if your friend was able to understand... I thought a cleric of death and of the grave would understand what you need to pass through. A drachma. Do you have one?
Okay. I'm gonna say this one time. You're in my head. That's my real estate. This is my home. You're gonna have to rearrange your tone. And we're gonna help you. I reached out a hand. Willingly, I might add. So maybe speak to me a little bit more like a, normal person, if you would. And I will check and see if we have a drachma. Thank you. Caleo, do we have a drachma?
Fucking check yourself!
Oh, absolutely. I would assume that I would have drachmas.
I would assume you would have some sort of passing. However, the question is, realistically, how many do you have?
Oh, that is a good question. In this world, do we need one or two?
In this world, it seems like one is fine to pass through.
Then Caleo would have 5.
Okay.
He would always make sure he had 5 on him for travels.
Okay. Then you have 5.
Then Caleo would be I think Caleo would have this memory like, oh, I get it now. Okay, yes, of course. It kind of like ruffles to his back.
All right, we seem to have
brings out a drachma.
So if we give you a drachma, then you have what you need. Do you need anything further?
No, I should be able to find my way. I
Maybe
appreciate your help, and I apologize. It's not easy to communicate. Not many of the undead talk here.
Understood.
Mena, could you ask them some questions about what we might be getting ourselves into, what it's going to look like for those with physical forms?
Mm-hmm. And when you go there, can you lead us there as well?
I don't see... Goodbye. Well, we'll keep going. We're all different spots right now, but we'll keep going. I don't see why not. I could do that at a bare minimum. However, I don't know if my pathway is the same way as your pathway, as I'm not of physical body at this point.
Have you seen those with a physical body enter? Do you know what it's like for them?
No, I've been here. I've been here in the mire and in the what do they call it? The river of lamentation. for who knows how long.
Ah. Have you seen anyone leave?
No. Everyone here has been damned. Either their family was not prepared and did not send them off properly, and they were rejected by the boatmen, or they were on their own, no way to simply turn over, or rejected for other reasons. For me, I was simply just given the short end without a drachma.
Oh. Do you know how long ago you died?
I don't know. I would say, depending on how you look now, not too long, unless trends have come back around.
Well, I'm just saying, those who didn't send you off prepared, if you want, I could give them a real hard time. If they're still alive.
What year is it? And you can just, I don't have a specific year, but
It's this
if you give them the
year.
year, the year of, I don't have a specific year, unfortunately, but they say they're not long, maybe 10 years at most. So they should be alive, because I haven't seen them here, the bastards. So either they're still alive, or they went on without me.
What are their names?
You mean just my direct family, or are you talking anyone who could have been involved? Because I was with an adventuring party, and they weren't there. I don't know what's happened to my family.
Oh, that's low. Give me their names.
I will send them to you after.
Yeah.
Session.
If I run into them, I'll give them a piece of my mind. But,
Quick question. Sorry. Is Mena saying all of his part of the conversation out loud, or is he is this all in his head?
Do you have a preference, Serenity, on how that works? No?
You do whatever your heart says is
I
right.
think that you hear my half of the conversation then. Yeah.
Excellent. Amazing. Just what I wanted. Thank you.
Well, my friend seems to be gathering up their coins, so I think that they intend to help. So we'll see you on your way.
Then good. I don't know what things look like at this point. Do you want me to stay here? Do you want me to be at the front of the boat? Do you want me to swim through? I don't know the logistics of this, and I'm sure your friend doesn't either.
Well, I guess we have to make our way to the gate. Let's stay close in both ways until we get there.
So I'm just here. You just want me to be here.
Till we get you to the gate.
And so it will be.
Safe passage. Have a rummage around in there. There's some good stuff. A lot of cookie recipes that I'm sure you'll find really enlightening.
I think there's a pause for a moment, and you feel like a prod. Like you've been scried before, so I feel like this is something where you're like, oh, this is similar.
Yeah.
Or something with reading minds. And then you hear lobster with chocolate. Are you out of your mind?
Sweet and savory. Sweet and savory.
And you will kill people that way. Is that the point? If so, then you've done a tremendous job.
No, they quite seem to like it. I do kill people, however, just the normal way. Intentionally.
I think the ghost actually laughs when you say that. He goes, oh, I know it was cold and quite separate from what was happening. But I quite like you. I quite enjoy you.
People
I
warm
think
up
I will
to
stick
me.
around.
It's a thing. I come across one way at first, but then I get you.
Well, then I will stick around for the ride. If you want to know my name, I don't remember the last part of it, as that is... Things drift and drop as you stay in the middle, just parting ways for a while. But my first name is Casey.
Casey, lovely to meet you. I'm sure you know already, but I'm Mena.
Yes, and I know quite astounding a bit about you. And I do have questions for a different time if they are not answered by me rummaging around.
Oh no, you go ahead and have a look-see. But you let me know any questions I can answer, and I'm going to turn my attention outward to the rest of the crew now. Casey has adjusted their attitude and is going to help us. And we just need to offer 1 drachma so that they can get across the gate themselves. I think that seems fair.
Of course.
Caleo, unfortunately, they don't know what it's like inside, as they've never been and they haven't seen anybody come or go. Not anybody like us.
Yeah, it was a long shot. I could... Serenity. Would I know if I performed a ritual for the ghost now, would it, give them safe passage right now, or...
So I would say if they were separate, plausibly. However, with them being in Mena's body right now, as long as nothing is either Mena fighting it or Mena basically Mena says get out, Casey's gonna leave. But or being turned or using a spell. At that point, I would say that would be the only, or if they choose to leave. But that would be the only time that there would really be an issue. Currently, with them being attached to another physical body,
Okay.
it doesn't seem like they'll have their own issue traveling with you.
Okay.
At this point, since they're not just attached to the fog anymore.
Yeah. I think Caleo will still kind of give that option. We'll kind of speak to Mena and we'll say, if Casey would like, I could perform a ritual for them and send them on.
What do you think, Casey?
Well, if you do, that means I leave. Is that right? I won't be much help at that point. But I am, joke aside, dying to rest. So I will take this as you see fit, as you are far more helpful than I've been able to get myself anywhere for the past, assumably, 10 years.
All right, if we let Casey pass now, then they get through on their own, but they won't be able to show us the way.
Wait, does Casey? I thought Casey didn't know the way.
Casey can show us the way, but has never seen anyone on the
Oh,
inside.
my bad. I thought
yeah.
Casey didn't know the way.
Yeah.
So, and I'll clarify it just out of character. But this is a conversation that Casey can just give. Basically, the spirits know the way to the entrance.
Oh, okay.
But they are, because they were not sent off properly, they were stuck. They're in the river of lamentation, but it's because the Greek word is fairly hard for me to pronounce, and I know I'm gonna butcher it. But it's a kleoktos. It's basically where people get stuck. And it's a separate river. K-O-K-C-Y, or no, K-O-K-Y-T-O-S, or with C's instead of K's. But it's its own river that does attach to a couple of others in a couple other places. But they know they are drawn to the way, but just without the opportunity to give the ferryman what he needs, they can't go, so they're stuck. But yeah.
Okay.
Okay, then. Blah, blah, blah. I thought that they didn't know how to get there. That's why I offered, but they know how to get there then.
They can sense how to get there. They may not know, but they'll be able to
So they're kind of like a homing beacon.
Yes, exactly. Now, that being said, you have talked out loud about having drachmas.
Oh, I was just about to fucking
Fuck.
say I don't take the drachmas out then, because I was like, I don't want any of the guys to see my drachmas.
Whoop.
At this point, the boat creaks heavily from both sides and from up top. You don't see the physical representations of these spirits until they attach to the boat in some form. We are going to have a fun little mini game.
Oh boy.
A mini
Interesting.
game?
A little mini game inside the big game of Greek life, of Gaian life. So what we're gonna do is basically do a bunch of different checks. We need to, as a party, achieve 5 separate successes to be able to go ahead and pass through safely. It does not all have to be at the same time, but you will be given 3 rounds of opportunity to do such.
Okay.
The fun part about this is that you can choose what you want to do. So let's just say, for example, let's say Finley. Finley has been learning how to use the ship and how to drive it and make it overall know how to amplify the use of it. She could use her, and I would, if you are learning something, I would give you your proficiency in it now. But she could use the proficiency to go ahead and try to make a check to see if her using her knowledge of the ship and helping drive or adjust something will help the getaway get through faster. And if she succeeds, that's 1 success. So you can use whatever you would like as long as it makes sense. Because unfortunately, if you say I'd like to give the boat cookies to make it go faster, that may not work, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But, but whatever you would like to do. So we're going to start in a round. We're going to go first with Kaj. Do you have an idea of something you would like to do to try to get away or help possibly make the getaway better?
Not particularly. Is there anything that requires like physical manpower that I could like provide?
Yeah. So if you're looking for possible ideas with that, if you want to maybe something on the ship, you could absolutely help man the sails. You can help drive and adjust so you're fighting physically to get through this easier. Or if you'd like to use your physical manpower to try to get the hands off the ship so there are less spirits, or maybe not like with your hands, but like knock them away.
Yeah.
Or something like that is physical. You can absolutely do that. It's all up to you. This is open book. Do what you think is most fun or most effective.
Okay. I will offer to swipe away the hands then. Just so that we don't have any more on borders.
Cool. I'll have you go ahead and you can either make an attack if you would like to try to do this, or if you'd like just to make like a physical skill check, you can absolutely
Can I
do that.
rage?
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, could I like attach onto that a little bit and have my own role and do my Eyes of the Grave again and kind of act as a spotter?
Yeah, that can be another possible
Yeah.
success that could help. So
Okay.
you can go ahead and roll that if you'd like. If other people have something they can think of.
Yes, I can. Well, you know what, Serenity, may I do something that is a very, very liberal interpretation of a particular wording in a spell?
I like it. Tell me what you're thinking.
So the first line in the description of the spell Healing Spirit is you call forth a nature spirit to soothe the wounded. And now, normally that would mean that they would just literally come and restore hit points to people. But soothe the wounded, to me in this case, I'm hoping we can make to mean that this spirit will come forth and just calm the upset ghosts down.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Also, please take a point of inspiration. That's cool as hell. Yeah, you can use it like a calming emotion and heal the spirits rather than yes.
Great. I'll
Go
dunk
for it.
that spell slot. And it is a nature spirit, so I hope it is like literally just like a water spirit that just like comes up from the sea.
Perfect. And I will say with like the things that would naturally go through like that, like your eyes, you're not gonna have to roll for that. That's dumb. Now that I'm thinking of it, I'm like, no, you just do it and you're communicating. That's perfect. I'll call that a success. The spell, you spent the spell slot. You casted it. That's a success. What did you get for your physical roll? I'm sorry.
I got a 24.
More than enough, absolutely. You rage and you're barreling through these. You know the layout of the ship well enough to feel where the most pull and pressure is coming from. So the best way to help balance the ship itself.
Wait, am I rolling or am I not rolling?
You should no. It's an ability. So I imagine you communicating. Unless you'd like to roll a like a performance for communication, but I imagine you pointing, go there. Is
I also already have advantage, so.
I know, but this is just kind of like my part to help everyone.
Yeah.
It wouldn't like, yeah.
Feel free to roll that if you want to roll something, but overall, I'm like that's pretty
I
straightforward.
want a chance of failure. 13.
No, that's good enough. 13 is going to be the cap that I'm looking at right now for these skill checks. So you do it. You're able to point it out. For a moment, you do get overwhelmed because there are so many that you have to adjust yourself to only a certain area. AJ, Christian, what you thinking?
I got this tube in my hand. Christian knows.
Yeah, baby.
Christian knows metagame wise that frightened doesn't work on ghosts. Ragna doesn't know that. So I would like for Ragna to use, because he hasn't used it yet since he got the armor. He would like to do Daunting Roar to frighten or intimidate the ghosts, thinking that maybe this boat is instead Cerberus coming to stop them or devour them or what have you.
Okay. I would say intimidate would absolutely work because, like, if you try just frighten, but if you put your heart and soul into this and you're trying to scare them in like an intimidation kind of way, yeah, that works great. So feel free. You got to do the roar, but then you can roll intimidation.
Cool. I will do that then. It's been a hot minute since we did this. Let's see.
Yeah,
It's been so long.
Do I have the chops? Let's see.
Hey.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. Go ahead and roll.
Then we will roll. That's an 18.
Yeah. There are ghosts that let go of their own volition as they do not want to mess with whatever just roared at them. There are times where complacency is better than just outright whatever that could achieve. AJ.
I'ma speed up the boat. Gust of wind.
Hell yeah. That's 5 successes. So to go ahead and put this in a perspective, immediately Kazimir rages and begins to what weapon are you using to knock these off?
I was using Node and Malform.
Heck yeah. So this maul is just clattering against these hands, against the railing, spirits pulling themselves up and out. So one half of the boat, Kazimir has to himself. He's good. Especially with the amount of success. The other half of the boat, we have a team up of both Mena and also of Caleo, where Kaleo's beginning to point out where things are coming from, where spirits are coming from, and adjusting as so. Mena is moving to try to have them relax and rest even for a moment, give them a moment of peace. Up top, not quite up top, but aiming upwards to where things are not being touched, but are definitely coming down from. Out into the ether is the roar of Cerberus, and many of these ghosts vanish in a puff, let go of the ship and pull themselves away, let themselves go back and dispel into the fog. And then as finally everyone has come to a crescendo and a point where they are at the least amount of spirits that can possibly be on their ship, there's just a huge gust of wind into the mainsail, and the boat begins to fly. Now, you are all driving blind. The only person who has a feeling of where things are going is going to be Mena. So let's see. Let's do one more round of people doing checks to make it out of this completely. So you've made it out of that direct issue quickly. Now to leave without being turned around. As no one else really feels it, but Mena does. Now at this point, you can feel why Augustus was turned around so simply, as the fog shifts and moves to where you are physically turned around without knowing you are. So something that should be straight ahead, you're having to begin to bob and weave and make turns to adjust to the fog and its movement. So let's have everyone, we only need 3 successes this time out of the group. So if anyone has an idea of what they'd like to do.
My gust of wind is a concentration, and I can change the direction of the wind on my bonus action. So whatever direction we need to go, I can change the direction of the wind.
Okay. Is there a certain amount of times you can change the direction?
Only on my bonus action.
Bonus action? Okay. So every 6 seconds. Yeah, I'd still call that a success. So there's 1.
I'll switch, now that we're going so fast, I'll switch from going and like knocking the spirits off the side to helping with the rigging and the sail masts to help with better control of navigating.
Cool. You can go ahead and roll. Do you have a proficiency in water vehicles?
Let me check. I don't believe I do.
Didn't you give it to us now? Or no?
Right,
or
but Kaj is training up Finley. Not Kaj.
Interesting.
No, I thought you were giving us it because we've been working on the ship itself.
the proficiency that I was giving was the proficiencies you were working on.
Right, our individual ones, not as
Yeah.
just...
So for Finley, it was water vehicles.
Right.
The only one that you're all getting as a group is...
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought I was teaching Finley survival.
Oh, you're teaching survival. I apologize.
Yeah, because I don't have the
wrong.
because I don't have the water vehicles proficiency, so I wouldn't be able to
Right,
teach
right.
that.
But you can use survival, and that's totally fine.
Cool. Can I use athletics? That's up to you.
Yeah, I would say that would totally work fine. But it wouldn't be precision. It would be more like power. So we would probably want someone who can help give directions.
Okay, I'll
in
do
one of these
survival
checks.
instead then.
Okay.
That's an 18.
Yep, perfect. All right, one more. So anyone else that has something where they can help either
I have an
with the
idea.
boat.
Can I, for this last try, because you mentioned us having difficulty like navigating this fog as it changes, I'm gonna let Casey, I'm gonna just like let Casey take my senses so that Casey can like be better able to like sense what's going on, since they know where this gate is, and they can like just communicate through me directly without me having to be a middleman and there being delay. They can just see where the fog is turning and report to our crew.
Got it. Quick question. Do you have any cantrips?
No cantrips.
Okay. No worries. Okay, yep. Yeah, absolutely. I will let you roll for this because it's still your body, but if you'd like to use, let's see. You could use whatever you would like, basically. It'll just be Casey communicating through you. So you could either give, just as some examples, another survival check is fine. You can do history, or not history, I apologize.
No,
Arcana.
I'll do survival for this. I think that makes the most sense.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. $22.
Perfect. At this point, you have all been navigating through this. Though this sequence was fast, this portion of traveling through the fog, you're not 100% sure how long it does take. Ideally, if you are able to try to think, does someone have a feat where they know what time it is all the time, or because I know there's one that's like, oh, you know what, where north is, so you would know
Dungeon
that.
Delver or something like that, right?
I think it's
Keen Mind, I think.
Keen Mind, yes, Keen Mind.
Okay. It's hard to tell how long it's been. By the time you all exit, everyone, I would say, does not have a level of exhaustion, but is exhausted as they exit through. And when you look up to the sky, as you finally have crossed into an area that is specifically one of the two oceans, as the other one that was clashing does not seem to be there anymore, but only one of the two stands, which is the one that you were traveling before upon Oceanus. As you look up, the sun has nearly set.
You're gonna get that green flash? Like Sinbad?
It's been so long since I've seen no green flash, but it basically, once you leave, the pressure and the feeling of the storm that's been pretty continuous eases, and you are pushed out into the normalcy of the ocean once more. With how fast the boat had gotten and it stayed at a velocity, once you exit the fog and everything switches and changes, the boat almost comes to a stark halt. And everyone will need to make me a dexterity save.
Natural 20,
Nice,
bitch.
baby.
Yeah.
That's an 18 for me.
Sweet.
It's a 14 for Kaj.
Oof. Oof.
11.
Oh wait, I have advantage. What am I doing? I'm a barbarian. No, that was lower.
Okay. AJ? What? 5.
5.
Okay.
At
Okay.
5.
Everyone that got below 15.
God damn it.
Everyone below 15 does stumble. Hang on, let me see what Finley got, just so you're not by yourself. Kaj. Oh, she got a nat 20. She's good.
Nice.
She's right there
Literally,
with
what did
Caleo.
we just say before we went on break? Literally everyone on the top row of the call.
I'm sorry. But you all do fall. You don't take damage, but you do like fall onto the deck as everything changes and switches. Those who roll above are able to grab onto something. I imagine Caleo and Finley have just adjusted to the ship so well that you leaned back a significant amount to when it lurched forward, you just adjusted.
Yeah.
It's like when you're standing on the train and it's like going between stops and you lean with the motion.
Yes, exactly. You've gotten comfortable enough to where you could feel that things were going to come to a very harsh stop. But the majority of the rest of the crew who's been trying to help, who's been scrambling, Court, who has been taking notes and trying to physically keep the ship at bay, based off of what everyone else has been doing, they all fall. Like they all topple. Court quickly grabs her journal and scrambles to keep writing, as there is still so much to put into this now that the ship is at a halt. And you have passed through one of the many rivers of the underworld. And in front of you, you're beginning to see that the ocean itself, though still calm like it was once before, is beginning to help move you closer and forward on its own. If anyone wants to make a nature check.
Yeah. Even though I have a -2, but got it.
Wow, I got an 18.
Yeah!
Nice.
I also got 8.
10.
Caleo goes, it's moving forward. It's helping. Thank you.
7.
Poor Ragna. This is not Ragna's day. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
Mena, did you want to roll as well?
No. I mean, I think you know what? I guess I will, but
It's up to you. Just everyone else did, so I want to make sure I didn't say anything before you rolled. Leave you out.
Which I think, yeah.
Yes. So everyone who rolled an 18, you notice that the ocean is now, the current is one way and pretty consistent. As you all know, you are heading to the edge of the world. Like rapids to a waterfall, you are now being pulled for the rest of your journey. And heading closer to the edge of the world, not by choice so much anymore, but by gravity.
I hope this all seems right to you, Casey.
How the hell should I know?
Good talk.
Good talk.
God damn.
Phenomenal.
And so, let's do, before we leave off for tonight, let's do the final week. Was there anything else? And this is your last chance before we end up at our location.
How annoying has my friend been trying to reach me for the past that I've been ignoring for the past 2 weeks?
Your phone has been on
How's that
vibrate,
going?
and it's been vibrating pretty
Oh my God.
consistently. It's felt like a nagging sensation in the back of your mind, like when you you're forgetting something, but this time you know exactly what the hell you're trying to forget.
Well, I mean, she's not one to make me forget memories, so
No.
I can do that after everyone else has done their thing.
Like how you feel like you're in trouble. You're all like huddled. You're all huddled in like this. Like you're all like, oh.
Look, I gotta teach Ragna math.
Oh, by the way,
Magic
please explain your math, because you do get inspiration from it,
okay.
because it's rad.
You might need it if you're gonna talk to you. You need to talk to you.
Yeah, this is just me ignoring everything that's going on in the world. All right, Ragna, here's what I got. I worked on this for a little bit. There's a simple equation that describes magic entirely.
Mm-hmm.
E equals PF over R. E as in the energy and effect of a spell equals the power you use for the spell, the focus of the spell, times the focus of the spell over the resistance of what the world essentially.
Mm-hmm.
The power amount of power generated, how high you cast a certain spell, the amount of energy that it takes to use that power to the focus. Some people use arcane focus, like usually like clerics and paladins have like a certain emblem on them that uses like a focus. A lot of wizards have a focus using usually like a wand or a staff or an orb. And also the focus is your spell components, the materials you would use in order to cast a spell. And then resistance, a whole other freaking thing that could be a whole other formula, but it is resistance to the desired effect based on the size of the effect, laws of nature, easiest of result, the works. But that's magic. That's magic. There's also other rules that I could go into, but that's magic.
This baby can fit so much magic in it.
Magic in it.
So much magic in it.
I'm gonna roll a wisdom saving throw.
Do I have to roll Arcana?
We're gonna see. I rolled a 22 wisdom saving throw, so he got it. How does the 22 in role play terms look like? Okay, that makes sense. Energy output, situation. Uh, all depends on the focus. All depends on the source. All depends on the target or targets or effect. Okay, I understand that aspect at least.
I mean, there's also like a lot of other rules. Just like, I mean, I've only talked to maybe one or two artificers that lived by me before, but just like science, magic has rules that they have to abide by.
Mm.
Even though magic can be chaotic,
Mm-hmm.
it still has some measures and restrictions that it has to fall within.
Right.
But we could talk about that another time.
Okay. Do 50 burpees right now if we're doing training.
Okay.
I want to try and talk to while they're doing burpees.
That's just
Burpees. What's the exercise name? I think it's suicides. Burpees.
Oh, God. Burpee suicides? You're gonna make me
Yes.
do burpee suicide?
Hey, you asked for athletics, and you're gonna get the P90X experience from Miss
man.
Leonin. So you can do that. I'm gonna try to talk to or try to enter Hephaestus's place of business again.
Go ahead and roll and tell me what you say.
Sure. Damn this +2. To religion. I should have tried to boost my religion. But that's on me. Oh, that's a dirty 20.
They can help you with that.
Try to teach a Leonin about religion. That's blasphemous on its own. Dirty 20.
Okay, what do you say? Or are you just like, let me in?
I could say that again. Because I don't know what the because again that last conversation, terrible ending. Fuck. What is a self-conscious, anxiety-based bitch say to another self-conscious, anxiety-based bitch to get a conversation going?
Oh boy, the stories I could write.
I have a mechanical inquiry, and I need your help. It is based off of a piece of information Echo was able to relay to me.
So you close your eyes and you do feel yourself change locations, but the cinder and the heat and the metal smell that you expected are not what you find, as you appear in a room that is familiar, but it's stale. And it's not, and I'm not saying like there's like a stench, but it's someone who has not left an area for an exceeding amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And you see pictures that were being painted again and again and again, but slowly just becoming twisted and unfortunately, as before, when you saw just the bare basics of beauty, the love has been pulled from them as well. They're flowers, fresh flowers, and a beautiful view of Olympus. But you see a much paler pink tiefling who's sitting on the edge of her bed. The golden hair that you did know that did shine like the jewel in the metal itself is muted, lackluster. You still see at the door frame, the door's open to peer inside the palace of the manor that Aphrodite lives in. But there is still a heavy static that keeps them in.
Mm-hmm.
And Aphrodite will turn to you. Cheeks sallow, that sucked in, like, and not lost of much weight, as they are still a form that is familiar, but now is unhappily maintained. More survival and necessity than gluttony or for fun or for enjoyment. But she looks over to you, and you still see there's that spark that made them the goddess of love for the countless years that they were. And they look over to you and offer you a sad smile before standing up to walk over to you and offer a hug.
God damn it, Serenity's bitch. It's not what I was expecting. I got here. Oh man, kill me. Ragna will definitely move in to hug them. And be gentle and caring about it. I'm glad you were able to accept hugs now.
You've never thought of a god or a goddess as fragile, but holding them in your arms does not feel much different than holding a mortal.
Mm-hmm.
But her hug is strong. Her grip is still stronger than most.
Mm-hmm.
And she holds you back tightly as you hear in your ear a whisper, as if she hasn't spoken aloud much, and says, "This is not about me. You are here for a reason. But I'm still happy to see you."
I am here for several reasons. One just got me in the door.
I know.
I just want to make sure that your husband does not make a mistake and leave you alone.
He's doing what he can.
I know.
Her hands now move to cup the sides of your face.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's been a month at most, you are growing so much as an adventurer that Aphrodite can see it. And before, what she found were just chubby cheeks of someone wanting to play hero. She's now looking at you like you are becoming the heroes that you have read about. And she smiles. A bit larger. Before nodding. He does a lot of things. And they're out of love. And out of pain. And out of fear. And I want you to know that pushing you away, though he may not say it, was at least out of fear and love. He misses you.
The last time I god fear the Leonin didn't quite end well for us.
It's not fear of you. It's fear of your opinion.
Saying that, there's a slight confusion in Ragna's eyes that she can definitely see. What does that mean?
There are only so many things I can explain. Since this is better for you to see yourself. He may be ignoring your prayers, but I will not. Go see him.
And Ragna will do the Leonin sign of affection, which is to nuzzle up against them. We're going to fix this.
I am content. People are doing what they can for me. You are. My followers are confused, but doing well. At least as well as they could. Hephaestus also does mean well. I will come back stronger than before. But now is not my time.
We need to all be stubborn. Not let anyone tell us what we should and shouldn't do, can and cannot be. And I know you can be the goddess that I once knew, and even better than that.
And I will be. I'm not giving up.
Good. One more hug for the dog, and then we're gonna hug them.
Yeah, she'll give you like a tight squeeze. She'll walk you to the door about as far as she can go.
Mm-hmm.
And then fix up your mane a bit. Before giving you a pat on the shoulders and going, you remember the way down, and then further down. You take a left and then you go further down.
I will see you later.
Just know, I'm always watching. I'm always here. You can say hello to me as well.
I will do that next time, I promise.
She doesn't look upset. She just looks more excited at the fact that she can tease someone that is not always in her household.
Mm-hmm.
as you do see nymphs walking through, awaiting on her, as you do see that there's plates and platters that have been set aside at the room for people to come and collect. One thing that I do want to say you do notice, her room has not her room, but the sphere has shrunk.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
Yep.
So she can't go all the way out onto the balcony. She can go most of the way out to the balcony. And you are able to freely roam down to the workshop.
And Ragna will do so.
To which you hear the melodic hammering, the comfortable and let's say comfortable to you, but extremely hot forges of the home forge. Not quite as good as the volcanic one that you know of, but still, it's Hephaestus's forge is leagues above anyone else's. And you see a man running himself rampant. His muscle is still upon his arms and upon his chest. But you do see that his face, his legs, areas where he was once fully like stout and like a small building, like a pillar, is now being funneled still as a battery, and it's taking its toll. You still see the battery, so forth, but the small focus being used to channel his power to keeping Aphrodite safe. And his red, deep, bright orange and red hair is graying. His beard speckled with white. And you know gods can change their physicality at will. And he is not doing anything to change this. His limp is seemingly worse at this point, but he's still working ferociously. As the weapon that you saw him maliciously making beforehand is now up on a wall. And he's working on many other things. If you'd like to make a check of some sort to see what he's working on, I'll absolutely let you do so.
Sure. I'll make the check as Ragna is walking towards that wall, towards that weapon. Not saying anything as he does so, just walking towards the scene, taking everything as he usually does. Would that be an investigation or perception?
I'll let you do either. Perception will tell you what it is, but it won't give you a really in-depth analysis, but investigation would probably tell you a bit more.
I will roll investigation then.
Cool.
That's a 16.
You see a set of armor that is built for someone who seems about 7 foot tall. About Aphrodite weight, Aphrodite size. But the armor is not anything similar to what you saw her wearing, like she was when she was fighting, bringing back her title as the goddess of war. It is far more full-bodied, covered. The filigree is astounding. The attention to detail is beyond anything that men can comprehend, as you looking at the filigree, you can see almost needlepoint etchings, and like he took the world's smallest hammer to create each curve and each divot. And upon each part of this armor, you see it's made of, well, a familiar metal. Something that you two coined a while ago. But on each piece, you see shin guards, and you see gauntlets, and you see shoulder pads, and at this moment, he seems to be working on the chest piece. But on each, you do see a stone that seems to match the focus that he is currently wearing. As you walk closer to the wall, he doesn't look up, but he definitely speaks. I wouldn't touch that if I was you.
And he stops. He's at the wall. And he stops and he's just looking at it. Looking at its perfection of cruelty. Its utter devastation. No other words to put as. You listen to me. Why?
No words. Heavier hammering.
Mm-hmm. And as Ragna speaks this next time, it's deeper, mature. I will confess, at a few points of my journey, I thought myself your weapon, your tool to destroying all those who would see the flames of life extinguished. After Fontes, I fully accepted that role. No longer a blacksmith, just a blade to rip and tear at the unjust, the unfair world that kept taking and taking everything from me. Echo thinks you should, if it holds any semblance of weight on your decision. I thought it only right to tell you.
Hephaestus will stop for a moment. It's not terribly long, but you only notice as it breaks his rhythm of hammering before he goes right back to it. Almost a stutter. Before answering back. His words and his tone seem guarded. If that's the role you want, that's the role you'll keep. But that fight is not yours. I will not have you fall to someone so unjust and meaningless. You have things you need to do. And for you to continue being my hand, you must continue. I paused. I didn't stop. I simply paused to continue onwards with something that may be more effective. Taking your words into consideration was merely common sense. But I did not stop. And this will happen.
Ragna doesn't say anything for a moment. as he moves over to sit next to Hephaestus, staring at the fire. Letting the words ruminate throughout the room in his head. Do you think Lord Prometheus regrets giving Leonin fire first? At giving us fire at all?
I don't speak for Titans. But if I spoke at all, I'd say someone who gave away something so meaningful wouldn't feel bad about it, but would maybe feel, I don't know if they feel guilt, but maybe feel poorly, maybe feel a tinge of something at the fact that he made an entire group of people fall. Which I can agree it's not mostly his fault. He's not the one who chose the punishment. I know I would be sorry that it's your burden to bear. As mortals would judge you for the rest of your lives, which are short enough as it is.
It's at this point where Ragna takes off the bandana and the eye patch. So both eyes are showing. And he finally turns to look at Hephaestus in the eyes. And when he speaks, both of them speak. Do you regret making me your champion?
There's a pause. And this time he actually puts down the hammer. Before he looks into both eyes. Having different reactions to each of them. Like, he's speaking to one of you and then another. His glance to Echo is not as close as the one he gives you. It has a line of separation before the one he gives you, which has some semblance of vulnerability that you saw from time to time, but where he never really let himself go past before stating, "No, I regret that you have to be someone's champion. I regret that you have to give up your life. I regret that I made someone who could do so much good for what mortals are. Even with just you living your life without knowing that the end of the world was just around the corner. I'm sorry I made him have this burden to bear. But I couldn't choose anyone else. I won't choose anyone else."
Ragna stands up and then just hugs Hephaestus.
So you do have to kind of lean down
Mm-hmm.
just a bit to get him in
Like,
there.
yeah.
He stops completely.
Mhm.
His hands are where they were, but now out.
Mhm.
He doesn't seem to know what to do.
Right.
Before he simply puts a hand into your mane and kind of gives it a pat. The other hand is awkwardly hanging from his side, as he tilts his head a bit away, more comforting you
Mm-hmm.
in this, but you can feel him lean into the hug and hold you, before letting go and going, okay, get off.
And Ragnar will get off when asked.
You've been hanging around my wife too much. She's made you soft.
Metals need to be soft before they can grow into something better.
That sounds like something she would say. And you see him like smirk a little.
And I'm sure that would work on you.
But he looks at you as you stand there, and he gives you a flat hand solid whap on the shoulder, just a pat,
Mm-hmm.
before grabbing it and looking into his forge, unable to look you in the eye, as he goes, I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad you've accepted the role. And I'm sure as hell glad that you haven't tried to reject it. Because I don't know if I could handle anyone else. And I don't think that anyone else could deal with this.
And then he looks back at the armor that's being made with the batteries on it.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you doing about this?
They deserve to not be stuck in that room. And I intend to fix it.
That's a lot of power.
Shouldn't take more than the room itself. It's a much more enclosed unit, just mobile.
I did
Maybe if
notice
that's
it's getting smaller.
good thing that I'm making it now then, huh? And hopefully if that son of a bitch sees her and he realizes what he's done, maybe he'll fall into my sword for me and make it easy.
Is there no other way to get a power source? No other power source?
I suppose. I mean, there are. I mean, do you have anything left from... where was it? Siathan? The power of Titans? Or primordials, or whatever it used?
I mean, you would have to ask Nyx. I mean, they're the one who took everything when we were done with it. Right? It's been a couple months, so I don't remember.
Aphrodite took some.
Aphrodite took
but
some.
Nyx took Prometheus.
Yeah, Nyx took Prometheus. Yeah. And like he's gonna reach, because I don't think you didn't give me what the thing is that that Echo's been talking to me about. So I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's so basically it's a mold that looks like it has something that resembles like a key handle on one end.
Right.
But it just expands on the other end. The closest thing that I can think of it looking like and just a second. Without the tails on the side, but like an Ankh, like an Egyptian, and I'll put it in there.
Right. Ragna just takes out the drawing of the mold. Maybe this, I don't know, something you can build, a battery of some kind. Maybe something that doesn't take from you, something that takes from the magic of the world. I don't know. Magic is not my forte, but I am being taught the basics. They'll hand over the blueprints. And it was part of the prophecy on Echo's end. So
I know this is weird for you to do.
Sure.
Can I have you roll an insight check?
Oh. All right. An insight check on Hephaestus? That's wild. That's a 22.
He looks at this and has this deep thought. But you see this twinge of concern. Where the hell did you get this? How the hell did they know?
Like I said, this was an item they had to find on their end in their journey. They traveled to this island with everything trying to kill them to get this mold. They can't tell me anything further than that because the thing is blocking them. But we are doing experiments to figure that out. There are moments where he's talking and I can't see, but his eyes are moving like he's talking. So he's telling me something, but I can't see it.
What the hell do you need this for? And you see him just staring at this plan before handing it back. Your drawing won't do much. This, you need the mold for. But why the hell would you need this? And he begins to walk back to his forge.
I was hoping you would tell me.
He's rubbing his brow, and he looks like he's like trying to massage out the furrow that is appearing. Ooh. And the veins that are popping out of his forehead. Before he turns to you and goes, that is a key that unlocks not just the heavens, but the skies.
Are we talking like the Olympus skies?
Beyond.
There's a beyond Olympus.
You can look up, can't you?
I always just assumed that Olympus was just over that.
No.
The stars and stuff.
No, it's... We can have that discussion a different day. Okay. But no, there is more. There's always more. It never just ends. It never just stops. There's always something. There's everything. There's nothing.
And this key lets you access that.
Yeah.
For what purpose?
I don't know. Why? Well, I know what it does. But I don't know why you need it. And whatever the hell this prophecy is alluding to, this is our business now too. Because this goes past gods.
Can I summon Echo right now?
He's there!
I can't. Hey, man. You got anything to say about this?
Dead silent.
But does it look like he wants to say? Or is it like silence?
So much.
Okay. So Hephaestus can see what Ragna's talking about.
Yeah, and he just shakes his head. I don't know where the hell you're from. Or why the hell you can't talk. This is one situation where I agree that keeping your mouth shut may be the better of any other option here.
It's that serious.
That serious. So, you have to find this mold. You have to make the key.
It's nowhere near in our prophecy. Again, it was in his. And the location, Koyos.
That makes sense.
I'll take your word for it. I'll take both of your words for it.
So are you going there after?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't really plan ahead that far. I thought you would have the answers and be able to make this key here, but
What the drawing doesn't show you. There's 1 million microfractures and thousands of slight distinctions that change. I can't just remake it.
you can't just remake it.
No.
There's something you can't make.
I can make it with a mold. I can't make it by itself.
Okay. Okay. Is it? Well, I'll put it on the list, I guess. If that is a thing we want to track down. Just the key to
You don't want to track it down, but I'm assuming you need to.
Well, no. This wasn't in our again. His prophecy different than the one that we would have given.
Are you sure?
Gonna turn to look at Echo.
Oh, he wants to say things. It's
about finding the right question to ask. We figured some things out, but not everything, apparently. Can you talk to who's the god of magic? Or in general. I mean, if you want to find energy sources to help with your batteries, that would be a good place to go, right?
Well, you'll be going there to see her.
Wait, what?
She resides in hell.
Oh. Okay. I'll put it. It's on the field trip list, I guess. And maybe we can talk and we can figure something out with you. If we put our heads together, I'm sure we can figure something out. so you don't wither and die.
I'm not going to die. Takes a lot more than that to hold me down.
Did that hurt?
No.
Hmm.
He does recoil a little bit, but it's more so like it doesn't like truly like hurt, but he definitely didn't realize it was going to.
He felt that, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't realize he was going to feel it. Well, since I can't make you this, is there anything else you wanted to make?
Not really. I wanted to just check up on you. And Aphrodite.
Then I request your hands.
Okay.
And he shows the rest of the pieces of the armor that have not been created or finished.
And I will help. I will do my best to help Hephaestus make this Iron Man armor.
Yep. I'm sorry you don't get a proficiency or the tool, but you got lore.
I got a fuck ton of lore.
You got lore.
Fucking the key to the heavens and beyond. Fuck it. What the hell? Talking about? Serenity, what are you doing? You can't. You go past the Greek mythology. What's happening?
Don't worry about it. Hey AJ, you want to do your scene?
Fuck you.
We got 15 minutes ish.
Sure, let's make it quick, I guess.
Do you want to wait till the beginning of next episode? Because I don't mind.
I can wait.
Okay.
She's not important.
That's all. That feels like a bold-faced lie, AJ.
Call. She just wants to boast about me using her power.
She will remember this.
She will remember this. I can hold off.
The goddess of memory will remember this.
She's remembered every time you
remembered every
looked at
time
you looked at your phone and then put it down.
Yeah.
Just a checklist.
She has receipts for everything.
Yeah, I know. So that's why she's okay with waiting. It's fine.
We can wait till next episode. We could just pick up like during the week. But yeah, I just want to make sure we are getting to bed on time for everyone. Is there anything
I
left?
think probably is just more just like, okay, right now I'm done. Right. Okay, it's all right.
Oh no, you turn around, he's gone. Physically, he is not on the ship anymore.
All right, now I'm done. Okay. Fucking champions.
There's a note on like the mast that's like
gone to a domain.
gone to a domain. Duke chair climbs or stair climbs up and down the ship until you can't anymore.
Can I put in an idea?
Yes.
It's a note from Aphrodite. It says, "Sorry, had to borrow him," and there's a heart at the end.
Oh.
And then there's a list of Goddess of War's workout, and it's gonna kick your ass.
Love that.
And it's just a bunch of like things that that are intense. And then it's signed Deity.
Like looks around for a second, is like fucking champion.
That's basically an autograph. That's like a free autograph from a goddess, from a former goddess. Like, that's crazy.
Pockets that.
If you could sell that for later.
God, I cannot believe former goddess is a title.
Yeah, the goddess formerly known as.
Is that Aphrodite? That's very good.
She's still known as Aphrodite. She's not giving away her name. Okay. Was there anything else we'd like to cover or go over before we skedoodle and we see each other in another 2 weeks?
I was gonna just save it for the next episode. So.
Love it.
Same.
Awesome. Well, everyone, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Today was a very fun and very eventful session. Thank you to all my players for being phenomenal and being with us. Thank you to Dylan for going ahead and producing and doing some tech behind the scenes as well. He's a trooper. Check out everything that everyone's in. Does anyone have stuff that they want to go ahead and promote before we leave off?
Hey, you should watch and listen to the Atomless and also buy merch that I designed.
There's merch. There's so much good merch that Andre did such fucking good art for the Animalist. It's all so good. Obviously, Andre's art is always good, but it's particularly spectacular Adamless art.
If you want a trucker hat with a hot dog that looks like Michael J. Fox in Back in the Future,
yeah,
you know where to get.
you know where
that.
you can get that. Yeah. Oh, it's just so good.
Also, hey, the Crit Awards are coming up soon, and voting's still open.
Better
so,
vote.
Hey, look at me.
This guy.
Look at Christian McKenzie on the screen. Look at Christian McKenzie, aka Fluffy Goomba. Vote for me.
Specifically for
The
best
fucking-
player
you think I
in
World of
a
Darkness.
World of Darkness
Yes.
game. Yes.
Yes.
You
Yes.
think I was gonna follow up his scene with my scene? You fucking
Yeah.
kidding me?
That's just this scene.
That,
Like, you haven't seen, this isn't the best that Christian's done on this show.
Uh-huh.
And they haven't, like, he hasn't even been, like, nominated for this show. So
This isn't even his final form.
Yeah.
This is, no!
So vote for me. Vote for me. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Vote for me.
That's what I have to say as well.
Straight up. Vote.
Yeah.
I'm on like page 27 or whatever. It's like a bunch of pages you gotta go through to specifically vote
When
for me.
you
But
look
vote
in the
for me.
World of Darkness section, you'll find it.
You'll find me. I'm
Yeah.
right here. It's me.
Mm-hmm.
There's
It's
a-
worth it, I promise.
Yes. There's also a lot of Adamless cast members that
Uh-huh.
are also
Including
on
Nardinaldi
the Crit Award.
Kadir, for best player, and Robin for best GM, and Momo for best original song about a TRPG. For
Got a threesome up in here.
Uh-huh.
Also, vote for my GM because my GM is also up for best villain. So
What's
vote
your
for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dylan.
Yeah,
Roll for Dylan.
Roll for Dylan.
Yes,
Roll for
that's
Dylan.
right.
That's for Aisha, yeah?
Right.
And
Yep.
these are luckily all different categories. So none of us are in competition with each other. So you can actually vote for all of those.
Yes.
Yes.
We're all being girls here.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Any other fun projects? I was gonna say keep an eye out because there's gonna be a project that 4 of us on here, Christian, AJ, myself, and Andre, are gonna be on.
What are you talking about?
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
I was like,
Also, keep an eye out at Mimics and Misfits because
That's coming
3 of
out
us
soon.
will also be doing things. There's gonna be fun stuff coming out.
Yeah.
With also some other friends.
Follow us all on social media because there's a lot happening and we just are gonna all be screaming
busy.
about it.
We're all
We're
so
busy.
busy.
Yeah. We have
It's
a
good.
lot.
And then Depth, do you know when the next are you still putting out episodes of Finding Ithaca?
Second,
You know?
because editing hard. I do have plans to start rolling it out within the next month. I've been kind of stockpiling up the episodes because
That's good.
editing's hard, and it
Mhm.
takes me so long.
Mhm.
But you can watch Finding Ithaca in our YouTube channel. There are some episodes out. You can listen to some of our prologue episodes that are out on Spotify. And yeah, please listen because I love this game a lot and I need motivation. I need validation for motivation, please.
No one go to Depth and go, hey, where are my episodes? Go, you know what I would love? Another episode when you have the time and the spoons and the
Mhm.
energy. So just
Yep.
validate. No, everyone's doing great stuff. So go follow everyone on everything. We will be back, not this next week, but the week after. And we'll see you. What?
We're gonna raid Safi.
What? Just kidding.
Yeah.
No,
Mm-hmm.
not that. We'll see each other at some other point. And we're going way down Hades Town. Way down under the ground. So I was saying, I knew Depth was gonna pull out merch. All right. Who do we want to rate?
We're raiding Safi.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll see you next
Is it
time.
the right one this time? Wait, is it the right?
It
is what we
is,
got?
it
this
is.
Sorry, I wanted to-
Tell her name right. It's Pride Month, Dylan.
I was so I don't even know how I could have spelled it wrong. But yeah.
I think there was an E instead of the I.
feet.
Roth.
For
I spelled it with an-
Roth.
Yeah. That's what I did last time. But I did not do it this time. We're good to go.
Sweet. All right. Well, everyone, thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you soon.
Bye.